Morning. Just want to get some teaching in before my day starts. So I will be reading from Genesis 1:28. I know I read it yesterday, but I want to help someone apply it to their life today and expound on some lessons that's contained in it. So I'll just read the verse and go from there. And God blessed them and said unto them, the people he made, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over every living thing that moves upon the earth, meaning animals. The application that I was blessed with once upon a time in my life, as I read this, was that was the first thing. We're big on the 10 Commandments, but this was the very first commandment that God told people. So the very first thing God told us was be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion over things. So another lesson that's in it is that I remember reading it and I think I misread it actually. I was right. Be fruitful, then multiply. And that just stuck in my spirit that's I'm going to use the word biblical math. That I can't or I shouldn't multiply until after I'm fruitful. To repeat myself, even the other day, I was speaking on how God was fruitful, then he multiplied. He had everything we needed to survive before he put us here. And as I read Genesis 1:28, he began to speak to me about how we humans, or how we people, will build backwards. We multiply and then seek to become fruitful. But that's not how God would have us to do things. He would have us to be fruitful, then multiply, to have what we need for kids, then have the kids, have what we need for a business, then do the business, and not do things backwards, because that's a horrible foundation to multiply, then scramble to try to be fruitful. It's no different than, I'll explain it this way. It's no different than before we know who we are, we will enter into relationships. We try to multiply outside of ourselves, but yet we not fruitful within ourselves, if that makes any sense. So it particularly starts in middle school, really big in high school, where people aren't fruitful within themselves. They don't know who they are. And if you ask them who they are, they won't be able to tell you, but they can tell you who they are in the context of a relationship. It's really big on women too. I'm sorry, but this the truth is that women define themselves as whose girlfriend they are. So a lot of women want to date a man who's popular, so they find their identity in dating the captain of the football team or a star varsity basketball player or somebody who's known or who is popular in the in crowd, so they can brag about their so-and-so's girlfriend. And they may not really like so-and-so, they may be physically attracted to them, but it's like you're not even attracted to them internally because they're not fruitful. You're just attracted to the outer shell because they're not fruitful, you're not fruitful, so nobody knows what's going on. We're just defining ourselves by relationships. And so God would have us, in some cultures they still do it, where God would have you be fruitful, know who you are, before you enter into a relationship that could lead to multiplication, i.e. children. So that's just something I want to say, that the math is be fruitful, then multiply. Know who you are before you seek to spread or multiply on the earth. Because you have to know who you are as far as gifts, talents, resources. As they say nowadays, what do you bring to the table? So I don't want to over repeat myself, but that is the essence. Be fruitful. Know who you are before you go trying to be with somebody else and define yourself in a relationship with somebody else Know who you are in the sense of your work and your purpose. Know what you're capable of. Know your worth. And then multiply. God doesn't have a problem with us having children. He just loves to see that we are able to take care of our children. We should love our children enough to want to have the things they need before they get here. We should love our children enough to, and I understand kids happen as results, but birth should be planned. God planned to birth us. This was no accident. He didn't go chase. Anyway, that's what God believes in, that things should be planned in purpose. With that in mind, I pray you experience God today via fruitfulness and multiplication. Amen.